recap in just a minute. There's two things I want to slightly retcon. It's not relevant to the story. I just want to correct it while I have the microphone on. I mentioned earlier that Liara Portier is Duke Portier's daughter. That's not true. It's actually his niece. It's not story relevant. I just want to make sure I have that corrected. And the other thing is, I've insinuated a few times the ride of the Hell Riders was almost 1,000 years ago, and it's not quite that old. It's more recent history than that. Historians in Faerun have no fucking clue when it happened, but they assume it's right around the 500, 400 year mark. So I don't want to give you guys the impression that it's been like 2,000 years. It's quote-unquote recent history. Again, I don't think it's actually going to change anything with the story, but I wanted to put it on the mic.
I think we were all happily skipping our way to the Vanthampur.
Yes, I believe both of them were going to come with you to that end.
So it'll work out great.
We're off to see Duke.
Nothing could be better.
Scoobity boppity bop.
Yeah, something like that, except better.
Because I'm involved.
No. Let's see, I want some town music, so I'm going to switch to some bullshit. How about this guy?
Pardon me.
So it is actually still the early evening. You guys basically went as soon as he set up his shop at the Low Lantern. It only took 15 or 20 minutes to convince him to leave his post and send away his bodyguard. You don't know where his little devil pet wandered off to, but it went invisible, and it appeared that he had dismissed it in some way. You're not really sure exactly what that means. You haven't asked him. But Reya and Amrik doesn't know anything about him, other than you are all going to the Vanthampur estate, and you haven't told her that that's Amrik that you're traveling with, but she's a smart kid. She probably figured it out. The Vanthampur estate is located in the upper city. You may recall the Low Lantern is in the lower city. So it requires traveling through the gates at night, the thing that only nobles are allowed to do. Amrik tells you that he can just get you in. It's not a big deal. You get to the gates after some walking. The guards show up to sort of halt everybody. And Amrik's like, no, they're guests of the Duke. Let them be. And the guards just coolly step back and permit you entry into the upper city. All the while, Amrik is discussing to you the nature of their estate, what it looks like, the grounds, who's present on site on the payroll, all that sort of thing. He's basically verbally casing a joint for you.
Gotcha.
And
It appears like he's on our side, right? I mean,
He's given us no reason to appear not to be, and he's got a staked interest in this because he wants his older brother out of the picture, so...
And so he says, there's this room that's about this wide at this furniture, blah, 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 and you get a mental image. It looks suspiciously like this image that you have in front of you.
how convenient.
Yes. And
He's
what?
very good at describing layouts.
Yeah.
In another age, he would have been on, like, HGTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not.
No.
Flip this castle.
The estate, the manor, is quite large. It's one of the larger manors in Manor Born, the district. Quite a bit smaller than Silver Shield, so you've seen bigger manors. It's not that impressive. But it is a big deal. Amrik tells you a little bit about the security of the place. There are patrols of 3 guards apiece that patrol 24 hours, all around the clock, 7 days a week, throughout the outer grounds of the property. Sometimes they have some type of dog on a leash. Not typically allowed in the upper city, but who's going to pick a fight with Duke Vanthampur? Ain't nobody going to do that except for you. Inside, they do have some other defenses and guards and things like that. He starts breaking it down for you, but he tells you the big deal is going to be neutralizing my brother Thirstwell, who is likely going to know that we're coming. And while I am confident I can talk our way into the estate, I know not what his response will be once we are on the grounds. So I will try to lay low as we enter. Thanks, Ned. She's so stupid. He also says the secondary obstacle is going to be my mother. There's a possibility that she will be in the manor proper, but it's quite a bit more likely that she will be in the excavations beneath the manor. So, did you immediately look at his answer?
She's in Pluto.
Your favorite parade.
And Amrik laughs and he says, yes, it is a repurposed sewer that they have drained most of the water out of and utilize for storage purposes. wine cellar, but also a place where her guests are allowed to come and go without being seen.
I suppose if you're the Duke of the Sewers, then having a sewer in your house is just the equivalent of having a home office.
He says they...
What was her name again? I know Vanthampur. What's her first name?
Thalamra.
And she's a
Common
grand.
spelling.
She's making a play to be the Grand Duke.
Okay.
The Grand Duke was older Ravengard, who was MIA.
Yes.
And like just like Duke is a gender, like there's no
Yes.
Duchess shit or anything.
Correct.
Right, just wanted to make sure.
Such a Duke and Dookie.
The Duke of Dookie. The Duke and the Duchess.
What was that Grand Duke's name?
Older Ravengard.
Ravengard. I always got him in silver shape.
Aquaman.
Right. And he's missing with Elturel's theory there.
Yeah.
So he's missing, which is not supposed to be common knowledge, but it's basically propagated the city enough that now everyone kind of knows he's not here. He was supposed to show up at a couple of functions and didn't, so people have put it together. But people don't know where he went, and it's privileged information, very privileged information, to know that he went to Elturel at all.
Yeah, because it would be prime time for crime time if the big guy's not in town.
That's a big part of it, and also that Elturel and Baldur's Gate are not friends. They're not hostile, but they're not friends. And the idea of him going there, even with an honor guard, is kind of a strange thing.
And Thavius Creed, he's I know he's a paladin, but he's like a big poobah that the
high overseer.
The High
That's
Overseer,
what it is.
yes, of Elturel.
Supposedly he's being held here. At least that's what she thinks.
So there's... she says that she's heard that he was seeking refuge with the Vanthampurs. So her whole play was going to be to come here to ask Amrik if she could talk to him, because she's pretty sure Thavius Creed could figure out how to fix this. He is the head of the Paladins of Torm in the city of Elturel, and the position of High Overseer is also like the president of Elturel. He's been in power now for at least your entire adult life.
Get off my plane.
Yes.
We think he's in league with the Death Cultists, at least to a certain. We're not 100% sure, but we think he's somewhat.
You had heard, I believe it was from Mortlock, that he was working with the Lombra Vanthampur. What that actually implies, you're not really sure, but Mortlock seems to think that they were at least in league in some way, or was content to tell you that.
It is kind of somewhat suspicious, coincidental, I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly what, that Older Ravengard, Grand Duke Older Ravengard was in Elturel, and the president of Elturel was in Baldur's Gate when Elturel went tits up.
Motherfucker, we got parent trapped.
So Amrik provides you all this information. Vanthampur is confused because she was under the impression that she was coming to go, appeal to the Vanthampurs to talk to Thavius Krieg, and now Amrik's talking about killing everyone. And she's like, "Ooh, did I throw in at the wrong guys?"
Yes.
Yeah, kind
About.
of. Probably.
Almost certainly
sorry,
not.
sweet cheeks.
She
She says that out loud, and we all kind of yeah. Kind of.
Xanthar had figured out as well that she had killed a Flaming Fist member in self-defense. And so she's kind of stuck now because you guys have got her into the upper city and nobody arrested her yet. So she's like, "Oh, it's better than being in jail."
Was that a little bit of information? I think just Xanzer knows that, right?
Just Xanthar knows that. I don't think Xanthar told anybody yet.
I probably would have at least mentioned it to you.
Okay.
But I would have mentioned it in this is because they're refugees and the city treats them like trash, and what kind of a city this is, and
Don't.
Big hammer.
we know the fist isn't necessarily always on the up and up.
Well, no, that's sort of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, yeah, absolutely. I will not splatter her.
Yes.
Yes.
But Amrik is going to get you up to the manor, and he basically asks you, "Is there anything you need to do, any prep you want to do before we go?" There will likely be violence.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I think we're as rested as we're gonna get. Oh, I have my HP. What about that?
I mean,
know.
don't bother.
I mean,
Don't change anything.
relish in these few small
These
moments.
fleeting seconds.
These are the seconds of your life.
A
watching
particularly
a sunset.
big raindrop hits you in the forehead and you die.
Let me get my death's head moth pin out. Little Mothman pin.
Okay. He says we can get you into the estate. Once we get in, it's basically on you. I'll come with you in the sense that I'll linger behind. But once Thirstwell catches wind that I'm here with you, it's probably, all hands to war. So
Use the fucking.
So, the girl, Reya, she's here to try to get help from somebody else who is supposedly being harbored by the Vanthampurs, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Should we try to set those two up? Should we try to reunite them while we're on our high stealth bullshit before it gets violent, or are we just going to go in fireballs ablaze?
All right. I think first of all we need to be realistic about what high stealth means to this party. Because much like in our just recently wrapped up D20 game, there ain't no stealth when Dragomir's around. All right. And so unless you want to leave him like in a box in the basement somewhere and just knock on the floor when you need him.
We're going to give you this two-way radio. You're going to stay out in the driveway for the next hour. And
So, how is Amrik spinning it? Is it like as soon as we step foot on the grounds, it's going to be like...
He says, I'm confident I can get you into the building.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once we're into the building, I mean, says if Thirstwell has spies, and I have no reason to doubt that he does, and he lives in Dragomir.
We know that he does.
Says he's likely to know as soon as we approach the main gates, but it'll be too quick for him to notify the guards out of the yard. We'll simply get into the house and lock the doors. They are beholden to listen to me, in as much as they were to listen to him. And if I order them to stand down, they will. But once we get in there, his spies are liable to be your enemies, and I have no doubt that he would use them to violent ends. But let me tell you a little bit about the property. It says the yard, let's see on the map here, as mentioned before, is patrolled by 3 small patrols of guards. They go counterclockwise around the yard at all hours. The separate building in the back is a stable house where a full-time stable servant lives. And
That's our first target.
He is the stable keeper and also the groundskeeper, and he says that's Sarvinder Peck.
That's such a good name.
Sarvinder is, he's been with the family for about 10 years. He doesn't know anything about their illicit comings and goings, but he does say that they maintain an escape route from the underground area that basically deposits you in the stable house for a quick escape. So at the first hint that there's trouble, they have the ability to sneak out the back door to get out to the stables and then ride away. So he says if you're trying to prevent my mother from escaping, you'll need to find a way to shut down the stable house. That may be as simple
you have
as...
fire.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I just set it on fire.
He says...
We're cool with that?
Amrik says, absolutely
what?
not. Part of the arrangement was that I would stand to inherit my family's estate and wealth. Don't destroy it, or...
Okay. I mean,
No.
damn. What, you're not going to go full Property Brothers, a little bit of renovation. I mean, there's a property, there's brothers, and I always thought that
This
show could
estate
add a
has
little
stood
drama.
for 400 years. I shall not see it destroyed. Only at the
for an
beginning
over
of my
time for
life.
an overhaul. I mean, for every year.
Perhaps you get homeowners insurance.
Styles have changed, man. The velour wallpaper just ain't going to go anymore. You may just want to gut the thing and restart.
Okay, so, let's
So
see if there's anything else I have.
Who walked in the stable?
The front door.
The 70s.
Yeah, rein it in.
Alright.
The front door, which is closest to Paul over there, brings you into the main foyer. And from that door is the servants' quarters. That's with all the beds. There's a kitchen in there where their cook is generally going to be hanging around at this hour making dinner. Gabori de Valen, who is very uptight and snippy. Amrik doesn't like him. And he is mouthy, but he's such a good cook that they keep him on anyway. He says there's a food pantry down there. There's stairs that go down to the basement that you can see in the back corner closest to me. And there's a parlor where Duke Vanthampur entertains her guests. There's a possibility that that's where she'll be when you break in. There is a dining room and a gallery. The gallery, he says, have black curtains drawn over them to keep the light of the sun from ruining the pictures that are hanging on the walls in there. Which means that if you are trying to get somewhere that the guards outside can't see you,
That's a good place
that
to
is a room
be.
that you can get to. So he suggests a gallery. That is, let me check the map here and tell you exactly where that is. That is actually the sort of like L-shaped long chamber in the center of the building, the stairs in it. Those stairs go to the second floor, and he says that's where Thirstwell will be. He says Thirstwell never leaves his bedroom. Ever. He calls a servant to change his chamber pots twice a day.
What about his sheets?
I was thinking it's like a
Socks.
psycho thing where he's actually dead and somebody else is dressing as him running around.
I just figured it was like the ultimate medieval neckbeard.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
He's on Twitter.
Every morning he leaves his poop sock by the door.
He says that, well, I'm Mother's favorite. Thirstwell does maintain a contingent of my mother's honor guard. The 5 of them stand guard in the hallway outside of his bedroom.
Jeez.
He says they are butt men. They love
I mean, no wonder he never leaves his room.
I wouldn't want to go out there to a hallway with 5 buttmen.
There's actually 6, but they rotate who's in the room and who's not.
This is what I expected when I ordered 5 guys.
So that stairwell that's in the gallery goes upstairs to where the bedrooms are.
Yes, and the one closest to me goes downstairs to their wine cellar. He says, I think the first priority should be dealing with Thirstwell, because once Thirstwell knows that we're here, it's only a matter of time until everybody on the property knows that we're here. If we neutralize Thirstwell first, chances are good that we can maneuver around the estate with less attention. And
The invisible devils things are gives me the creeps.
he also...
I actually won't ask him about that.
let me get one more thing in here before you ask, and then I will happily take your questions. Ways of Amrik. He also tells you all of their bedrooms are on the 2nd floor. The guests in his mother's basement are... yeah. There's always a sex dungeon.
No, it's her 3 husbands that she's with 3 times.
Her guests down below wear ritualistic clothing that obscure their features.
My.
Gimp suits.
And
You got a basement full of cultists.
Her down below guests, you say?
it is literally a basement full of cultists. Sam will just straight up say it. But he says, to freely travel in the lair below, you would have to be dressed in the same clothing and masks and such. He says, coincidentally, if you're speaking with me and Mortlock is no more, Mortlock had a set that I do believe would fit you.
Where would that be?
Party.
In the
It's
bedroom
gonna be a
upstairs.
full-on
Alright.
eyes wide shut.
Alright, so it sounds fairly straightforward. We go up to neutralize Thirstwell, we steal Halloween costumes while we're up there, we go down to the basement and have a basement party
Yes.
with a bunch of buttmen.
He describes the Halloween costumes, as he put it, and they are like large flowing black robes, like spooky cultist
Of
robes,
course they are.
and faceless devil masks.
Ooh.
Oh, and those heavy curtains are just to protect the paintings, too. Dragomir gives you the iron jerk-off motion.
But we should figure out if we want to neutralize the stable before we go fuck up Thirstwell and his 5 guys.
He says,
My burger!
Emmerich says, I do believe you're going to need to hit them both very quickly, or split your forces and hit them simultaneously.
Hi, Paul.
Yeah, that always works.
So I asked him to describe the door from the tunnel into the stables because I was looking at my equipment. All I have really that would be good for securing a door is manacles. I mean, if it's like we could just put manacles on like the door so that it's locked shut effectively.
I have mending, so I could
Would that
Well,
work?
yeah. Would that work? Does that only work on something that has been
It's
physically
something that's
broken?
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't like fuse wood together or anything like that.
So we kick the door open and then you just mend it shut.
Like setting a bone wrong.
I could cast Cloud of Daggers in front of the door, and then anybody who came through it would be ribbons.
I don't. Yeah,
That
I mean
kind
that
of
would work.
defeats the purpose of.
That would work, but my concern is it's a concentration spell and it's a spell slot on something that maybe will happen. I'd rather have you save your firepower for stuff that will happen.
Emmerich says, I think it's very simple. It opens up via trap door, and there's a cart that is designed to be pulled by horses. Just have the horses pull the cart over the trap door and unhitch the horses.
There, that's what I was like.
Let's do
straight
it.
to the door. Yeah.
But the only thing is that's where Sarvinder Peck sleeps, so you'll have to figure that out.
He's gonna sleep there for a long time.
No, we're not killing Peckerman.
That's
Like-
the worst Mega Man villain.
Is he like a nice guy? Do you like him, Emmerich?
Yeah, he says I would prefer not to see him killed in a
Absolutely.
horrible, messy, disastrous way.
So only clock him on the head a little bit.
If you walked in and gave him 5 gold pieces and said, "Here, go have a night on the town," would he leave for a few hours?
Yes, probably.
Then why
Let's
don't we
do
just do that?
A fair point.
I mean, I don't want to be unpaladinly, but we don't have to solve every problem with a hammer.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's give him a little bit of gold and be like, take,
Well, let's let Amrik do it because he's a
He's the
familiar
boss,
face, and
yeah.
you know. Here's your Christmas bonus. Come early. Go get plowed.
So he asks you vis-a-vis me because I'm the DM and I'm DM questioning you. Are you dividing your force? Are you sending him all by himself to the stables to deal with it? You guys are going to walk in the front door? Like, what's the timing going to look like?
Right, we need him to get us into the door.
Can he get us onto the grounds and then we find a place to like hide for 5 minutes while he runs to the back, takes care of Pecker, and we all go back?
He says you could potentially hide in my mother's art gallery, but the problem is that Thirstwell will then know that you're here and will have had 5 minutes to dispatch his spies throughout this thing.
I also privately am a little nervous about letting this guy run away on his own while we are in his house committing crimes.
Yeah, there is the chance of betrayal.
I do not.
Because there's also a trap door in the stables where he could just like...
And getaway
Hey,
horses.
Mom!
Well, okay, so we need to neutralize the stable
Yeah.
before we go inside. I don't know. I feel like maybe we all go to the stable, do this real quick, and then all go back inside.
Is it day or night?
Night.
Early
so
evening-ish.
So my big fear with us going to the stable is that somebody in the second floor can easily spot all of us walking there, and they won't know who the 4 of us are. 5 of us are because we have Reya.
Yeah.
So, that looks a little wonky. If you only took one of us, maybe you could say, yeah, this is my flaming fist guard or whatever it is, or I have a new bodyguard or something, or if one of us went, that's probably not too bad. But if 4 of us, 5 of us trudged into the stables, and suddenly the stableman took off for town, that'd be very obvious.
Having one person keep an eye on him and the rest of us kind of tuck in a corner outside.
I totally agree that at least one of us should be with us.
Okay.
I don't trust him.
All right, then maybe he gets us in the house, and then you and him go.
It doesn't matter whichever one of us thinks would be the more appropriate
The thing
guy
is,
to go.
once we are in the house, Thirstwell knows we are there.
They're gonna...
Well, I would argue that Thirstwell probably already knows we're there. He's got invisible imps that are following us around.
But it seems to me like once we get into the house and Thirstwell knows we're there, things are going to kick off in a way that...
Once we're in the house, we're on initiative order. Is basically what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
The standing plan is to get into the house, lock the doors, and use it like a stronghold.
Yeah, okay, so looking at the layout here, what if he lets us in? These are the front doors, you said?
Yes.
What if he lets us in here, and then we all, as a group, go into here, we hold this little room here, while you and Amrik do your little mission out to the stables, and then we'll meet you back in here.
Did he recommend we come in just the front doors or this back door? What did he recommend?
Well, he says that the doors to enter the estate are located 2 over here and 1 on this side. The one on this side belongs to one of their nosy neighbors, so he doesn't recommend coming in through this side because they're going to notice something and probably call the watch. So he does suggest you go in through the front doors instead.
It's because there's a tiefling walking around at night through someone's backyard.
Yeah, basically, it's a little creepy. It's like the opening scene from Scream. And so what his suggestion is, the 2 front doors are your best bet. One of them only requires you to be outside for 20 feet before you're in the front foyer. The other way gets you on a straight shot all the way to the stable, but it goes past many windows, which are all the little ruffle-looking things on the walls there. Those are curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he said there's a chance that the mom might be in here entertaining guests.
She might be in there entertaining guests, yeah. Or in the parlor, which is with the chairs and the couches.
So does he have a recommendation for dealing with the stable? Or at least
with
walking to the stable?
For the groundskeeper, he says, I think your plan will work. We can certainly just give him some money and tell him to go. The only question I have is, the longer that we dally about, the longer that Thirstwell has to organize defenses within the house.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the stairway up?
Yes.
Okay. Then I still kind of am leaning towards my plan, where we come in through the front as a group, we get to here, we split up, somebody runs with Amrik over here to take care of the trapdoor, reconvenes here, it should only take a couple of turns, and then we go all back upstairs as a group and deal with Thirstwell.
She's also potentially in the dining room.
Right.
Oh, you guys probably already figured it out, but just so it's crystal clear, this represents the second floor, and the manor does actually have a tower, and the top of the tower is this room right here.
Oh!
Yeah, I matched that up with that.
What if we get...
Yeah, some of the vampires. This is a vampire, right?
Right, yeah.
We've determined that every dungeon
It has to, yeah.
I think we're just gonna have to do something at some point because no matter what we do, something that we don't want to happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we just have to pick one and go with it.
So, okay, these are our two options. I'm going to present them. If somebody else has another one, you can jump in. But either my first plan where we all go in as a group to the front door, wait here while somebody else deals with the stable, and then comes back, and then we all go upstairs. Or we try to be sneaky past these windows, and we all go as a group to the stable, and then go in through the back door here, directly here. What we're trying to avoid is if there's Thalambra Vanthampur in this room full of guests, they're either going to know we're here because they're going to hear us through these doors, or they're going to know we're here because we're walking past these windows. At least here, we can just, sprint past the windows, and maybe they won't see us.
In a mechanical sense, anybody who's trying to do a stealth check past the windows, at the very least, will have an advantage because you're in dim light. The estate is lit. They do have torches and braziers and stuff like that. There's hanging lanterns on the sides of the house and stuff like that, but it's not enough ambient light to not grant you advantage. And Amrik says, if I go with one of you, if one of you is good at not being seen, it doesn't matter if I'm seen. I live here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stealth man?
So, I think what he's suggesting is he can go to the stable with any of you because he's already going to be seen,
Right.
and it looks normal. And
Yeah, as
the
long
rest
as
of us
whoever's
have-
going with him doesn't go get seen. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
He wants. Okay, so if he had a guest, they would be suspicious if he showed up with a guest.
Yeah, presumably because everyone already saw. You already know that you and he have been spotted at the low lantern. That much is fact. Dragomir confirmed it with his devices.
So I would think it would either be you who can be sneaky, or maybe you who could talk your way out of danger. Yeah, what's your charisma? Anything good? Or?
She was
Yeah,
already
anybody,
I keep thinking sorcerer for some reason.
There's a reason that you are our
the
face
only
man.
reason I'm not -1 is because I'm a tiefling.
Yeah.
But you also rob graves, so you get a little, you give a little.
No, I get a lot. They're dead.
I can't stop.
Get the whole thing. I don't
They
care.
get the whole money
They
back.
get nothing. They lose. Good day, sir.
So I don't mind accompanying him to the stable. It's just I would prefer if he did the talking and the bribing, and if he wants to use 5 gold of mine, he can do so.
Yeah, that's.
I just it would be better if he did the bribing than if I did the bribing.
He's not suggesting you do the bribing. He thinks Servant Pack would probably freak the fuck out. You guys are the ones who said somebody should go with him because you don't trust him to go on his own.
I don't know if I necessarily want to say that out loud, but we definitely don't. So yeah, I'll accompany him, but I'll stay hidden while I accompany him.
All right, so we're going to do front door and wait here, or are we going to sneak past the windows?
I like the 3 of you front door right there.
Yeah.
He says, if I'm going with you to go to the stables, I can't talk these 3 past the guards.
You can't talk us all past the guards to go in there, and then we leave there.
Well, that was what Brian was suggesting earlier. That means Thirstwell will know that you're there as soon as you go in through the front doors, but the guards won't harass you until you're already inside.
I feel like that's a little bit more of an attractive option.
Do we just say fuck the stables and leave right in because our way in?
Does it matter?
'Cause
Does it matter if Thalambra gets away? Do we really care?
I mean, we don't have a reason to care yet, but we might find something to care about while we're in there.
yeah, but
Amrik says,
but
I
we
can
don't
guarantee
know.
what you find will incriminate her and you're not going to want her to escape.
Okay, so we have to deal with the stables.
okay.
He says also part of the terms of the bargain he made with me at the Lowland.
I will say again, I'm not worried about. I mean, I want to say I'm not worried. I don't think anything we are going to do is going to keep Thirstwell from knowing that we're there because he's got invisible imps that are clearly watching us. So he probably already knows. And also, I'm a paladin, and so what if he knows that I'm there? I'm still going to smack him with a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, if Xander goes to the stables with him, I think we can at least not die in the time it takes to get there and back again.
I mean, all we have to do is stand still in a room.
So just to clarify, so I know what the plan is,
So the man might die.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
because I'd like to get this started. It sounds like the plan is all 5 of you coming in through this door over here, going right in through the foyer, going into the gallery, bunking up in the gallery while Zanzer and Amrik book it out the backside to come over here and bribe the groundskeeper.
Okay.
Double back, and then go to Thirstwell when you're all reunited.
That's my plan, yeah. That sounds right to me.
I can't think of anything better to do, and I'd rather get into it because I think it'll be more exciting at that point, anyways.
Yeah.
Does Amrik have any big reservations on
He says, no, it seems perfectly acceptable. You're the capable ones. I'm just here to facilitate you getting in and out and then collect when it's all over.
He's an NPC. We can rely on him about as much as you can.
that? Yeah, I know.
All right, let's do it then.
Yeah, I would say my only qualm is that Thirstwell was set up as our big obstacle, so maybe fighting him first is going to be the thing, but, like, we're not going to get to him.
I mean, and I don't want to metagame, but he also said that going upstairs and getting cult outfits is part of going down to the basement and being able to move it to the basement. So I think it's clearly, like, there's an order of operations here, and it's going upstairs first.
Yeah.
We're just moving these initiative markers for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just in the way.
Taking them all down to put them back up later.
You got it. I'm going to call for rolls now, just so that when the action does start, we don't muck it up with waiting for everyone to do math. So, initiative, please.
And tolls are tolls.
Ooh, 17!
Foreskin.
Foreskin.
Like.
May is 17.
10.
17!
Okay. Which one of you is faster? You two didn't decide.
I have +1 dex.
You can just decide.
Yeah, I also have +1.
Alphabetical.
It's a player choice thing.
I
Whatever.
was going to say it's probably better if Theo goes first, because I might light something
Theo
on
goes
fire.
Yeah.
I don't want to stick around too long.
I thought you were going to say it might be better if Theo goes first because you might be dead after your turn.
In which case it would be better for Theo to go after.
Yeah, there you go.
There.
Next time, don't pick hemophilia as a class. Sorry.
Who knew that tieflings get that as a racial bonus?
Thinking from Futurama, the striped biologist taunters who have the big bullseyes painted on their chest. What are you going to do, shoot me?
Okay.
It's good. It's good. Nothing's bad. All right.
It's bad if you're on that end of the turn.
No, it's totally great. Unless you're Dragomir. So,
He's thick. He's fine.
Anchorman.
the five of you approach the Vanthampur Manor.
I apologize. Did you get Real or Reya?
Oh, yeah. Do you need hers?
Oh, Reya is in here as well. Yes, please roll for
I
her.
forgot about Reya.
Yeah.
Allies.
4.
She is going to go after you because she's an NPC.
Okay.
And also, she is not likely to pull that sword off her hip for this. She doesn't want to kill people. She doesn't think. At this moment, she has no reason to believe that the people you're about to harm are actually evil. She hasn't observed any of this shit. She knows that there are ranks at the low end.
By the end of the turn, she might think that we're evil and maybe try to stab us.
It's possible. Okay. So put your minis on the board. And for no reason at all, this is going to be Amrik Vanthampur.
Oh. Great.
Is that Dr. Doom?
No, it's a dark elf with a gigantic fuck off knife.
Oh.
Do you need one for her, too?
For Reya? Not pulling out for Reya. She's this little standing thing.
Nice.
That's why she's so short.
Yeah. She's 14. She can only be like 2 or 3 feet high. Right.
So you know a girl becomes an adult when she gets her own miniature.
Alright. Amrik goes to the front doors. He pulls a key out of his pocket. He undoes the lock on the doors. A couple of guards with crossbows kind of walk and give him a nod, and he waves. And the doors swing open, and he lets you in. And he goes and he wraps the chain around the doors, but he doesn't lock it up properly. He just kind of quick slings the chain. And then leads you towards the front door. Another patrol of guards comes before you make it through the doors, and they're like, "Early night for you, Amrik." And he says, "Yes. Some of my mother's guests should be departing before long." And the guards give him a nod, and they walk past, and he opens up the front doors into the foyer. And it has flavor text because it's a foyer, and every foyer is required to have flavor text, or it's a foyer instead.
Foy pas.
Foy pas. I like that. That's actually. How dare you say something clever?
Don't sound so fucking surprised, asshole.
Apart from the main entrance, this room has 2 exits. A plaster shelf lined with ornate vases circle the room at a height of about 9 feet. Spread across the flagstone floor is a 10-foot wide, 15-foot long rug of exquisite design depicting a royal coronation. 2 tapestries hanging on the walls depict a dragon flying over a ship and pilgrims on camels, respectively.
Dragomer's wary of rugs of smothering. He's seen these before.
Check out the tapestries.
That's all I can ever think of whenever I hear the word tapestries. What? So, from Last Crusade.
Oh, yes. Those squares are a little small, so I'm going to zoom in just a touch here.
Yeah, Dragomir's going to purposely walk around the rug. He's seen rugs with smoke on him before.
Can I find my cursor, please? There we go. And that's a better. I don't think you're going to need all those squares anyway, so that's fine.
We're not going to get very far.
I do not.
Nice.
Contrary to what you may think about Nemea, she does not walk on the rug. If she sees other people not walking on the rug,
But she does walk on the wild side.
All right, you are in the foyer, and Amrik starts to look a little bit panicked. He's like, okay, the clock is running, let's go.
go, let's go.
Go get the stables. Oh, shit. Theo's first, right?
You're not in initiative order. It's just you tell me what you're doing, and the party will move.
We're moving into here?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Amrik and Xanzer have to get the stables.
Right.
Which is through that way.
It's true.
Oh, through that way, okay.
Okay. So as I mentioned before, black curtains are drawn over the windows. The hall is dark and cool. When you walk into this room, there is a very old man who is wearing a fine suit, who is carrying an oil lantern, and he's just sort of like roaming about. Looks like he's maybe the butler, just kind of cruising around.
Is he buttling?
He's butling.
He likes to keep the kitchen tidy.
And Amrik says, good eve, Fendrick. And Fendrick says, Master Vanthampur, can I supply you with more wine? He says, yes, actually that'd be lovely. And the butler turns and departs through the kitchen and presumably down into the cellar. He's an old man. It actually is kind of cruel that they're making him walk all the way to the cellar, because he's like 90 years old. But he says, okay, this is our chance.
That helps age the wine, I guess.
Because it catches old.
Come on, it takes him forever to fetch it.
Philip!
This is a good year when I requested it.
Alright, he says, yes. Alright, now's our chance.
Go.
Go, Gadget.
Go, sneaky man!
Yeah, let's head to the stables.
Okay. The two of you step out through the back door,
Peppered with arrows.
and you are immediately attacked by a devil. No. You step out through the back door. One of the patrols has just finished a round, and they're going back around the house the other direction. And he says, okay, quickly now. And he starts walking ahead of you to get to the stables.
Yeah, so I have to sort of sneak out. I got to sort of like hug the walls or something to sneak while he goes himself, kind of.
Yeah, you're basically trying not to be seen by the second floor, if I understand your plan correctly.
Yeah, so I guess I'm hugging the walls.
Okay.
Is he humming his own theme music?
And you have advantage because it's dim light.
No, wait. He's got a point.
Ooh, that's going to be a 24 on this stuff.
Okay, yeah, they can't catch you on that one, so that seems fine. Those of you who are staying in the room, it's a dark room, and you're only getting a little bit of the light from the butler's lantern as he turns to leave the room. And all of you freeze for a brief moment when you see Duke Thalamra Vanthampur. And she is just standing in one corner holding a cat in her arms. And the first thing you notice, besides the fact that it's fucking Thalamra Vanthampur right here in the room, just creeping in a dark corner by herself, is that the cat that she's holding has wings.
Oh, shit.
I would like a nature check from the three of you.
That's not natural.
Alright, here we go.
19?
13. Surprisingly good.
Did you lose your sheet again?
Thank you.
Listen, she hid the whole pack of arcane cards from me with a single piece of paper.
Well, apparently she's been keeping them in the fridge just for this very moment.
Stay frosty.
15.
15. Dragomir, you haven't heard of this before, but the two of you have. That creature is called a Tresson. It is a creature that is native to this world. It's not like a super weird alien cat or anything like that, but they are rare. It's a luxury pet.
Ah, me too. We also have dark vision and Dragomir doesn't, so...
That's also a valid point. But after you see her and freeze, you realize that she's not moving, and that's when you realize that it's actually a wax statue.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, I keep the wax statue of myself in the side room.
She's this
It's
kind
gaudy.
of rich
She keeps it
person.
up front, yeah. The worst part is it's like a wax statue for like first thing in the morning, like her hair's in curlers, no makeup, she's got like a bathrobe,
I'm
fuzzy.
holding her cat.
And then the little bronze placard underneath says #NoFilter.
She's got a cigarette with like 2 inches of ash hanging out of the side of her mouth.
Hashtag woke up like this.
Might delete later.
In sort of like glancing around the room, like, is this the weirdest thing?
That is by far the weirdest thing that you see in the gallery. I should give you a little description of this. There's an eclectic collection of tapestries, paintings, and alabaster busts that are standing on pedestals meant to impress the Lamro Vanthamper's guests. So this is the sort of thing where they're densely packed in here enough that if you were to run through this room at high speed, you would have to make a check to avoid knocking over things and breaking stuff and making a lot of noise.
Okay.
Not that that's going to come into play.
Is anybody in this room actually, like, cultured?
Like in this room or in like
No,
that
in the
room?
make-believe world. I know that you're not. It's fine.
Not particularly.
Actually, you're an intelligence character. Give me a straight-up intelligence roll.
Cool. That's gonna. Oh, hell yeah, 16.
16? Okay, yeah. It doesn't take an enormous intelligence for you to spot that this is a collection of some gaudy, worthless shit. This is actually some ugly art. The two of you who are in the room just kind of like looking at it and are like, wow, this is quite a collection. And you're like, oh, God.
Oh, she's nouveau riche.
It's heinous looking. It is not good art.
Well, yeah, I actually, to back up to last session, you said that she pretty much held the city hostage through her knowledge of the sewers to get made a duke in the first place.
Yeah,
So she doesn't come from money or
she's
privilege
like,
or
oh,
anything.
Yeah, she did, and
I'll make this taste
think about somebody who worked in the sewers to be a cultured person in their 60s. Like, no, that's not how this works. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is an eclectic collection of what
I'm the Lamro Vanthamper from the Taking a Dump Vanthamper.
pretty much.
The unsinkable thumb of Vanthamper.
They don't address it in the book, but something I thought was kind of curious, and let's throw it out there for funsies. Her name is the Lamro Vanthamper. That's not her married name, that's her name. All 3 of her children are Vanthampers, but they all have different fathers. None of them have their father's name. That was kind of strange.
That kind of relationship.
Yeah, I think she definitely was the one with the balls. And probably about 12 of them.
Balls of shit.
I'll show you a picture of her later. You'll be like,
She also keeps a hallway full of butt men upstairs, so
Yeah.
make of that what you will.
Xander, I want a perception roll from you.
13. I have my 18 passive. I don't know that stupid
Oh,
rule.
yeah.
Stupid thing.
Yeah, okay. That seems fine. You are able to overhear the conversation that occurs as you're tailing Amrik into the stable house. You mentioned earlier you didn't want to be seen, so assuming he's staying outside. But the conversation, there's nothing weird or shysty about it. He says, "Sarvin, my friend, here, take the night off." And he hands him a couple of coins you can link them around. He says, "I'll take care of locking up tonight. I fancy a ride around the estate." And Sarvender says, "Oh, very good. Great. I'm going to go get drunk at bars."
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
And then you see this, like, he's a middle-aged man, but he obviously works outside. Like, he's very sunburnt and just looks like shit. And he's stumbling out through the gates on this side over here.
Sounds like he's already drunk.
Yeah, he's working on it. He's a groundskeeper, and it's after dark. What else
Yeah,
is there? Dig graves. So he wanders away, and Amrik says, "It is done. Let's
Scots
rejoin
and
the
other
others."
Scots. James Scots. Ruined Scotland.
And at that time...
But we have to move the carriage over the truck door, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because
Yeah.
not much good.
Not much
Yeah.
good. Yep. So he sends Sarvender on the way, waits for him to walk out of eyesight, and then says, "Okay, quickly." And he goes to, like, get in the wagon so he can steer it, and he waves you to the horses.
Okay. Hit your horse, I guess.
So give me an animal handling
Let's
check.
see. This is where things fall apart.
Get kicked in the chest by a horse and immediately die.
Oh, 16.
16's pretty good. Yeah, it's it is not a quiet thing, and you're not sure how much noise is getting out of the stable house, but you know that it's not discreet. And he's like kind of grunting and groaning and trying to get
This is bigger than a goat.
Jesus. Trying to get the wagon set up and ready to go. Usually it's been Sarvinder handing him the reins after it's already set, so he's like trying to figure it out on the fly. He's a smart guy, but he's not a hard worker.
I mean, you know.
Trying to figure out what Prindle means.
I do have a soldier background. I don't know if
Oh, are you
that's
proficient
anything.
in land vehicles as part of your background?
Actually, I think I am.
Yeah, I think you assaulted
Yeah.
me.
Hot damn. then yes, you can
Yeah.
instruct him. That'll give him advantage on trying to set up what he's doing.
No, the thing with wheels. The thing with wheels. God.
He's holding like a bridle.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good thing that you gave him advantage on that, because he was going to fail and delay you a little longer. I'm opening this up to the section with devils for no reason. Don't worry about a thing.
Please don't. Stop. Stop that. Put that down.
No, don't worry. We're going to be attacked by deviled eggs.
It's gonna be
Which is
very
even worse,
gassy.
'cause I fucking hate eggs.
Thank you. I hate deviled eggs. I
Oh,
don't
you
like
know
eggs,
what?
but
That's
deviled
why
eggs
the dungeon
are-
underneath the bathhouse
Extra, man.
stank so much. It was just deviled eggs.
Just deviled eggs for days.
It's too boingy. It's a boingy food.
I mean, it is pretty blunt.
Thank you!
Get out of my house! Asshole. Alright, but anyway, then on the inside of the house, I need some different music here.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Love a change of music.
After,
Right after
we looked up devils in the
Yeah.
monster
Yeah.
manual.
Oh, good.
B-52 sounds appropriate.
The love shack.
Dragomir.
What? Stop.
Does a 20 hit your AC?
Yes.
Cool. Theodosius.
Oh, I need a pencil.
Does
I
a
got two.
21
Oh no, I
hit
got
your
one
AC?
over.
Yeah.
Nemea. Does a 23 hit your AC?
Oh, fuck yeah, it
What is
does.
this thing?
Cool. Alright.
Dog. It's the cat. The cat's fucking us
I
up.
didn't even get to keep meter.
Pissing all over.
I rolled shit on damage.
Oh, good. So only Nemea will die.
Yep. Dragomir.
Yeah.
Take 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
Theodosius, take 5 piercing damage. Nemea, take 4 piercing damage. Everybody give me a constitution saving throw. The DC is 11.
Back of the wall.
Well, you said
Oh, how did I fuck that up?
Nat 20.
God
Nice.
it's
fucking
gonna be a 9 for me, dog.
4.
Those of you who fucked it up take 13 poison damage.
Oh my god!
And Dragomir, you take half.
Okay, so 6.
13?
Yeah, it's great. Don't worry about it.
That's too many.
And descending from the gallery shelves are 3 imps. And they strike from invisibility, landing on your shoulders and driving their stingers into your backs. It is now an initiative order, and they have already gone, so we're going to go to the top of the order with Theodosius.
Theo does what you would do with anything that stings him on the back. He's gonna try to sort of rip it off his shoulder and throw it on the ground.
Rip it. Okay, give me an athletics check.
15.
He has a 17. He sort of weaves around your hands and continues to drive the stinger home.
Ugh.
Anything else on your turn, Theo?
I am going to cry. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
So it's a
Nemea, you are on deck.
Uh-huh. That's why I'm doing this.
5 is plus
Go fish.
Actually, this monkey should be with you.
6, 7.
Makes me feel better.
8.
Alright, Nemea, what do you got for us?
It's on my shoulders.
It is.
I am going to... Yeah. It's on my shoulders behind me like this.
It's the
So
devil on our shoulders.
I am going to
My shoulder
over
double.
my head, put my hands together and go like this and cast Burning Hands backwards into its face.
So a bunch of things happen. First off, it takes 0 damage. It is immune to fire. Secondly, behind you is a hanging tapestry that goes up the length of the banister of the stairs, and the tapestry is now on fire. Black smoke is filling the gallery.
Now the wall's on fire. Now the floor. Now the chair.
So much for saving this guy's inheritance. We're gonna burn down his family familiar home.
I mean, it was tacky to begin with.
Next up is going to be... you hear the sounds of footsteps, booted footsteps upstairs, and a perception check from the 3 of you.
13.
13.
Perception? It's gonna be a 10.
Okay. You hear some sort of mechanical contraption noises going on upstairs, but you're not sure the nature of what's
Mechanical noises?
Mechanical noises are there.
Yeah, gotcha.
So yes, that occurs. And then after that occurs, Zenzer. While you're trying to hitch up the wagon, you're not done moving the wagon yet, but you hear what sounds like a spell going off, a destructive magic spell.
I've heard that sound before.
My head's about to die.
That means to me it's dead.
I have 13 hit points, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Do I get any idea of how long it'll take us to finish our task?
With good rolls, you could do it this turn. If you don't get a good roll, it's probably be more than one turn.
Alright, I'd like to give it a try to finish this in one turn.
Okay.
And if not, then we're fine. Does he still get advantage from my...
he still gets advantage from you directing him on what to do. He's got the easy job, you got the hard one.
Do I need to roll? What do I need?
You still need to roll, it's animal handling.
Oh, okay. This only happened 5 minutes ago, I forgot. It's going to be a 12, not grand.
As you're doing that, he goes to move the, what do they call the reins, and the yoke just comes apart, like the harbor comes apart. Like it wasn't fixed properly. And he starts like rummaging around in the bin of the wagon to like grab the bolts that fell out of it so you can put it back together. It is not going to be done this turn. Back inside the room, it is time for the monsters to act once again. They no longer have advantage, though. Dragomir, 11's going to miss. Nemea, 18.
Yeah.
And Theo is 7. So it looks like only Nemea is getting zapped this time. Nemea, please take 4 points of piercing damage and give me a Constitution saving throw. Here it comes.
That was a fucking 14! God damn it, it's an 8. I'm just gonna put a 0 now.
You should.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm just not even gonna bother. No, I
That
don't
was-
want to know. I don't want to know.
15.
I don't want to know.
But you
Hey,
get out.
At least it's not double your total.
At least it isn't. You're right. I should be thankful for the little things.
Okay. The fire continues to build. Dragomir, you are up. So is Reya and Amrik if you want to do both of your turns together. And Theo, you're on deck.
Okay. So this thing is sitting on my shoulder, so would I get an attack of opportunity if I moved?
Yeah, it would attack you if you moved.
Okay. Then,
If you moved out of its threatened space, which is 5 feet, so you have to go 2 squares away.
But he's like sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he's not grappling him, so I'm going to say that he'd stay in the same square.
so if I move 5 feet, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to try to pound the one that's on Theodosius.
Okay.
Duck.
Doug!
Quack. Yeah, so. Yes, 26.
Alright, that is definitely going to make contact.
We really want these things to die, don't we? I should save some ice for upstairs. Let's see, 9 plus 5 is 14 points of damage.
Are you hitting him with the maul, or are you using the flail that you found in the other dungeon?
I should be using the flail by the fact that you're asking me that question, but I'm hitting them with the ball.
He has damage resistance when it's not a silvered weapon.
Of course he does.
You take 7 points and he's still up. Though you do
We
sort
did
of
find a
swat.
useful thing then.
You swat him, and he goes flying around in a circle and crashes into a vase,
Mm.
which then crashes onto the floor.
Excellent.
Me in my unconscious state.
Reya and Amrik is also yours, so take it away, Reya.
Yeah, Reya is going to hit the one on my shoulder.
Yeah, she sees devils, now she knows you're not the bad guys.
Right.
Thank you.
She doesn't have any tricks, she just melees the shit
Right,
out of
but
guys.
she does have a multi-attack, so she's going to swing twice with the longsword.
Yep.
Alright.
How do you fancy a haircut?
Yeah, if she can even reach up out of my shoulder, I mean, come on now.
She's only 2 feet high.
24 and a 12.
The 24 will hit, the 12 will miss.
Gotcha. 7 points of damage, which is not silver, I guess.
It is not silver, it takes 3 points.
May I roll like a religion or some kind of nature check to see if Dragomir understands that he's not using the right type of weapon for this? Or yeah, there's no base knowledge for that, is there?
A religion check would certainly be appropriate. I'll even give you advantage because you just observed it resisting your damage.
16?
Yeah, you would know that. You're a religious order that fights evil creatures. Like, devils and demons, you know a little bit about it. Recalling back to your studies, you were never a good student, but you know about how to kill things, and you remember killing things with silver is usually the way to go.
Alright.
Especially if they're vampires.
Alright, Geralt, let's get on it.
Alright, so it's you and Reya. Theo, you're up. Nemea, get ready to make a death save.
Which one?
Unless you might get brought back from the dead here by Theo in a minute.
Shit.
Xanther?
Yeah. That's it.
Would it be a full action to throw water at a fire?
To extinguish a fire of this size, yes.
But, to make it, not... Just throw, some water at it to make it sort of not go as rapidly, maybe?
Where are you getting the water from?
I have a water skin.
I would say it's still an action.
Okay.
Getting a lot of water out of a water skin's not a fast process.
Okay, spare the dying for Nemea, so you are no longer dying.
Cool.
Oh, it's Peter. Oh, cool, nice. And then I will use healing word on you, I guess, to give you hit points.
I guess.
Hi, I'm a support class.
We'll hold on to this for.
Oh, hey! So that is 4, 6, 8, 9 points.
9 points.
Yeah.
Hot damn, that's a whole lot for a wizard. Oh. every time you spare the dying or healing word me and I open my eyes and go, we have to stop reading like this.
Put out the fire.
I'm sorry, you did something different than I had heard when you... What was your turn?
I used spare the dying as a full action, and then I used healing word to juice her up with points.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear on the rules. You don't have to spare the dying if you're going to heal her. She heals from 0.
Oh, okay. I did not. Okay, then I just healing word her, and I'll throw water on the fire.
Okay, done. Just for the sake of the argument, give me a dexterity d20 roll.
Of course. Oh, hey, that's not
Yeah, it's pretty good.
bad. That's 17.
You spent some time in the Bucket Brigade when they were setting fires intentionally in the lower city.
Oh, yeah.
You had a little practice in this. So yeah, you emptied the water skin out on the tapestry and the banister, and at least the wood of the banister doesn't look like it's going to burn.
Mm-hmm.
The tapestry is ruined.
Yeah.
Can I retcon and set a bonus action by turn cash out of it?
Sure. Okay, so that was Theodosius. Nemea, it is your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna stay down for right now. Just because
Just play dead.
I legit, I am gonna play dead. But I am going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna see if there's... Oh. No. That's no.
No.
I just wanted to make sure. I
Don't
was
be
like, do I have any
ridiculous.
bonus action spells? And I have one, but it's a 2nd level spell, and I'm not wasting that right now. So I'm just gonna sort of... Can I, scoop myself into a corner by the edge of the stairs? Is the dark the top of the stairs or the bottom?
The dark is the bottom of the stairs, so it would be at the base of the stairwell.
I don't think I want to go there. Can I
Those
go
are
over
the basement stairs.
No, that's the
No,
upstairs
that's
stairs.
That's the
season
upstairs.
stairs.
I'm gonna scoop myself over into the corner. Yeah.
Alright.
I'll go upright.
And you said you were trying to play dead as well, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of just try to chill over there until my next turn when I can actually cast
So,
something that's
You
out.
did just cast a spell and wiggle all over the floor, so I'm going to call for a deception check with disadvantage to try to fool this imp into thinking that you shouldn't be stunned some more.
Are you smarter than an imp? No.
Deception check?
Yeah, with disadvantage, please.
I just heard Zoe taking noises when she was scuttling across the wall.
Every time. Disadvantage, you say.
I do
I'm
say.
gonna pick my 2 unluckiest ones. So I'll make it the worst. One is a 6.
You know what? I rolled a natural 2. Somehow this stupid fucking imp is bamboozled by your antics.
Look at that corpse go!
I mean, they are in cahoots with the death cult, so necromancy happens. It's not the first time you've seen a corpse move.
And I'm going to make 5 secret d20 rolls.
Love it.
Excellent. Okay. After that is is Zanzer. So Zanzer, you are still in the stable. You are unsure how long this task is going to take now that it's kind of gotten fucked up the last round.
I think things are going tits up in the house, and we probably better head back. I don't know if it's a single move for me to get back to the door, or if it's a double move. I don't know how far away I am right now.
Your movement's 30 feet.
Yeah.
You can make it to the door, but not in the house.
Is there anything that's not the carriage that you could put on the trap door, or like some like way to like lock it shut or something?
There's like anything that you could put on top of it is something you can move around yourself without needing pack animals for, which means somebody coming through the door on the other side probably could too.
Just finish what you're doing. I mean, all this is going to be for nothing if the target of what we're here for is going to screw out the back door.
All right. Kissing and moaning, I guess we try it again.
Okay.
Come on there, Arameus, or whatever the hell your name is.
Amrik, just stand on the door.
Yeah.